My name is Jamshed and we're doing crash course video on the Russian writers. And we're gonna start with Anton Pavlovich Chekhov. And I forgot. Let's see the Wikipedia for a second. So Anton Pavlovich Chekhov was born in 1860. He's a really nice guy, extremely skillful writer and playwright. He's Russian, which is very close to my country, Tajikistan. Shout out to my country. And what's so special about it? Yeah, so he graduated from a medical school, and he said that medicine is my lawful wife and literature is my mistress. How about that? How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Dog. Anton Pavlovich Chekhov is also known for his written short stories. And what's most interesting about them is that they're simple, very simple. And one of his famous short stories, The Lady with the Dog. And I read it. Really simple, but very interesting. And he doesn't even try to make his writings complicated. He focuses a lot on things that the other authors do not really focus on. Yeah, that was redundant. He doesn't use a lot of literary devices, and he doesn't make complex plots, which makes his writing so unique. And he started. Let's use my Russian accent there. He started writing first for his financial gain, you know, as his side job. And we all know, you know, it's like trapping on the side and then like slowly becoming a drag lord. Irrelevant. His other famous short stories is the Slepe, which he earned a Pushkin award, and other plays like Three Sisters, The Seagull. Yeah, as a whole, he's a really artistically inclined person. Thank you very much again for listening to me. It was me, your favorite, Jamshed Ashurov. And now we're gonna have Harry Zhu. No, Harry Shi. I'm sorry, I'm ignorant, I'm young. We're gonna have Harry Shi as our next guest, who's gonna talk about Leo Tolstoy.
So let's talk about Leo Tolstoy, the Russian novelist who was born in Tula province, Russia in 1928. He was a special writer who think that novel is not just something to entertain people. It's something that people can put their thoughts in and can communicate through the novel. And he spent his early life drinking, gambling, and he was even a slacker. And he was said to be unable and unwilling to study. But he actually worked on several autobiographical stories. He put his favorite childhood... What?
I got your neck there. Go ahead.
He wrote his favorite childhood story and memories into his autobiographical story. And that was probably his first published work. And then he joined the Crimean War, and he got married at his early 30s. And he had 13 child, but only 8 of them survived from infancy. Now, let's get to my partner Chen, who's gonna finish Leo Tolstoy interesting story.
The first book is War and Peace. This is his first great books. A portion of the novel was first published in Russian in 1965, and he published other 3 chapters on 1805, I believe, and a year later the novel was complete. And other Another book is called Anna Karenina, right? Right.
Karenina,
Or
you literally.
So, following the success of War and Peace in 1873, Tolstoy set to work on the second of his best known novel. And like War and Peace, this book is fictionalized some biographical events from his life. The best novelist in the history. So Jake gonna talk about Pushkin.
Alexander Pushkin was a Russian poet, novelist, and short story writer. He's often considered his country's greatest poet and the founder of modern Russian literature. Pushkin was born into Russian nobility in Moscow. His father, Sergei? Is that how you say it, Sergei? His father, Sergei Pushkin, belonged to the Pushkin noble family. In 1811, Pushkin entered the newly founded Imperial Lyceum? Is that how you say it, Lyceum?
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Well, at the Lyceum, he began his first completed major work, the romantic poem Ruslan and Ludmil. In 1817, Pushkin accepted a post in the Foreign Office at St. Petersburg, where he was elected to an exclusive literary circle founded by his uncle's friends. In his political verses and epigrams, widely circulated in manuscript, he made himself the spokesman for the ideas and aspirations of those who were to take part in the December uprising of 1825, the unsuccessful culmination of a Russian revolutionary movement in its earliest stage. For these political poems, Pushkin was banished from St. Petersburg in May 1820 to a remote southern province of Russia. In May 1823, he started work on a central masterpiece, the novel in verse Yevgeny One. He fought several duels and eventually the Count asked for his discharge. Pushkin, in a letter to a friend intercepted by the police, had stated that he was now taking lessons in pure atheism. This finally led to him being exiled to his mother's estate just south of St. Petersburg. After the suppression of the December uprising of 1825, the new Tsar, Nicholas I, aware of Pushkin's immense popularity and knowing that he had taken no part in the December conspiracy, allowed him to return to Moscow in the autumn of 1826. This is such a long sentence. During a long conversation between them, the Tsar met the poet's complaints about censorship with a promise that in the future he himself would be Pushkin's censor and told him of his plans to reintroduce several pressing reforms from above and to prepare the way for liberation of the serfs.
What is
Sorry, it's an ant. In 1831, Pushkin married and settled in St. Petersburg. Once more, he took up government service and was commissioned to write a history of Peter the Great. Meanwhile, both in his domestic affairs and his official duties, his life was becoming more intolerable. In court circles, he was regarded with mounting suspicion and resentment, and his repeated petitions to be allowed to resign his post, retire to the country, and devote himself entirely to literature were all rejected. Finally, in 1837, Pushkin was mortally wounded defending his wife's honor in a duel forced on him by influential enemies.
Make it rain. So thank you very much for listening to us. I understand. It was pretty boring, but thank you very much, and I really, truly appreciate your patience. No matter how foreign we are, including Jake.